From fans cheering for an opponent to an NHL player saving another player's life, these are the greatest sportsmanship moments in NHL history. Kicking off at number 18, we have Wayne Simmonds with one of the most respectable acts ever.
We's got it in center. Oh, Simmonds.
That was a really hard foul. Ehlers was so lucky to make it out of that rumble unharmed, but the look of regret and the immediate apology from Simmonds showed what a great guy he really is.
I have a word with Ehlers, I think, just to say I didn't mean that.
That's exactly what he did, Jimmy.
That is a true show of sportsmanship there. Up next, we have a historic moment that cemented Henrik Sedin's legacy as an all-time legend. Down by 1 to the Panthers, the Vancouver Canucks looked to settle the scores early in the second period. Fortunately for them, they had Henrik Sedin on their team, and when his team needed him the most, Sedin did what he knows best: scoring goals.
Scores!
That wasn't just any equalizer, it was a special goal that marked Henrik Sedin's 1,000th point in the NHL. Even the Panthers goalie and former teammate Roberto Luongo had to congratulate Sedin on an outstanding accomplishment.
Receive the captaincy, and they have a quick embrace as Henrik Sedin ties the game at 1.
At number 16, we have another true sportsmanship moment by Jaromir Jagr. With just a single lead in the third, the Panthers looked to secure the win against the Nashville Predators. However, the Predators weren't backing down from a fight. It was all fun and games until Jaromir Jagr struck the Predators player with a high stick.
Of the third period. Jaromir Jagr is back out there. Shea Weber just got high stick.
Even though the refs missed the obvious penalty call, Jagr made sure to apologize to him for the bad play. That is a true gentleman right there, which reminds me of one of the most emotional and heartwarming moments in NHL history. It was on the 18th of April, 1999. After 15 incredible NHL seasons and over 2,500 career points, the legendary Wayne Gretzky skated the ice for the very last time. At age 38, he finally hung up his skates and bid goodbye to the game forever.
With all the class that he has shown us in 20 years, probably the best player on this ice surface here.
The standing ovation was incredible, and also the entire Penguins team paid due respect. Trust me, there will be no one better than the great Wayne Gretzky. Now, there is no better show of respect than when the Canadian fans made a beautiful rendition of the USA national anthem.
Let's sing it together.
Oh, so. Imagine if everyone played ice hockey. The world would definitely be a much better place. At number 13, we have a save that was so good that it made the opponent's best of friends. With the scores tied in the third period, the game was just seconds away from overtime. That's what we thought until Alex Ovechkin found himself squared up against Canadiens goalie Carey Price.
A turnover, Wilson, Ovechkin! Just a piece from Carey Price, and then the bar. Are you kidding?
The puck was struck and was heading for the net, only for Price to pull off this unreal stop. That was insane! Even Avi had to give Price his flowers for that marvelous save. It is moments like these that make us all love and appreciate the game of hockey. Carey Price isn't just a hero on the ice, he's a hero off it as well. During the pregame ceremony, a young goalie was on the ice skating and raising the Canadiens' flag. Everything was going fine until the young goalie tripped and fell face flat on the ice, and the little kid was left embarrassed. Carey Price noticed, and when he came out before the game, he showed encouragement to the young Canadiens goalie.
Carey Price, a little fist bump and a pad on the pads.
After that wholesome gesture, that kid definitely went home that night. At number 11, we have one of Ryan Getzlaf's greatest sportsmanship moments. It was the third period of the enthralling encounter between the Rangers and the Anaheim Ducks. It was a fair game until this happened.
You'll see Shaw 48 right here. And he goes right, more than half facing, you know what?
But while both teams squared up and were ready to throw fists, Ducks' Ryan Getzlaf was the only one that helped out the injured player off the floor and back to his feet.
Getzlaf does, how about that, you know?
Regardless of the rivalry between both teams, Getzlaf displayed an act of class and pure sportsmanship there. Still, there is no sportsmanship moment better than what the Calgary Flames did for Vancouver's Trevor Linden. After 19 seasons in the NHL, Trevor played his last game on the prestigious NHL's ice rink. After the match, he was named the game's first star and received a resounding ovation from the Vancouver fans. The Calgary Flames, being as classy as ever, stayed back on the ice and paid tribute to Trevor Linden. Even his father was left teary after such a wholesome moment. This is one of the reasons why the NHL is the best pro league in the world, and there is no better time to enjoy high-flying NHL action than the playoffs. However, the Rangers' Jacob Trouba went overboard in the first-round series against the New York Jets. Down 2 in the game, the Rangers needed all the luck they could get in finding the equalizer. But when the player, Jacob Trouba, entered the game, he went for blood instead.
Oh, blasted by Trouba and not getting up.
Timo Meier is a lucky man to walk free out of that horror challenge, but at the end of the game, both players settled their differences on the court with a big smile and hug.
There's Trouba and Meier stopping.
The love and respect from both players is truly amazing. That is just playoff hockey for you there, man. Number 8 further proves why playoff hockey is one of the worst games ever. It was Game 1 of the 2021 second-round matchup between the Canadiens and the Jets. With just a few minutes left to play in the game, Jake Evans was set through on goal with an empty net. Evans narrowly scored the goal before Jets' player brutally ran through him.
Shankly flattens Evans, who hasn't got up.
And this is a vicious hit.
While everyone's attention was focused on the scuffle, Ehlers sacrificed his body to protect the injured Jake Evans from the rumble. Huge respect for Ehlers for protecting Evans there. Just look at Ehlers, man. So inspirational. What the Edmonton Oilers did at number 7 made them one of the classiest teams in the NHL. It was on the 7th of April 2018 that the Sedin brothers played the final game of their career. The entire Oilers team also gave a heartfelt goodbye to the Sedin brothers with hugs of respect and also a standing ovation from the Edmonton fans. Hats off to every Edmonton fan for that befitting send-off for the 2 best duos in NHL history. At number 6, Cale Makar proved why he is one of my favorite players in the game. The Avalanche's defenseman picked up the puck around his defense line, but unfortunately tripped and fell to the ice. While the referees initially called a tripping call on Islanders player, Cale Makar waved off the call and spoke up that it wasn't a foul.
Makar tried to say no, there is no penalty, I think. Or did he? I mean, Cale's like, no, but...
Intentionally waving off a penalty call? Honesty is really hard to come by these days. My respect for Makar just went up to 1,000%. At number 5, Eddie Lack suffered one of the worst injuries that I have ever seen. With the scores tied after normal regulation, the game was headed to overtime. Fortunately for the Red Wings, they had a golden chance to steal the overtime win. With a mixture of skills and trickery, the Red Wings forward found his way past Eddie Lack in goal and won the game.
Scores! What a goal! And a heavy collision with Eddie Lack. We'll see what happens here.
However, the joy in the arena soon turned to silence as Eddie Lack came off worse after a nasty collision during the game-winning goal. Despite winning the game, the Red Wings stayed back on the ice to support Eddie. What a class act from the Detroit players. That is a mark of true sportsmanship. At number 4, we have one of the most memorable, heartfelt goodbyes in Oilers history. The iconic Ryan Smith played his final career game in front of the Oilers fans. With a whirlwind of emotions, Ryan skated the ice rink for the very last time to a standing ovation from everyone in the arena. In a show of respect, the entire Vancouver Canucks team stayed back and bid farewell to one of the greatest icons in NHL history.
Ceremonial handshake led by their captain, Henrik Sedin. What a terrific sporting gesture here tonight.
Now that's cool. I don't think I've ever seen anything like that.
Top marks to the Vancouver Canucks for that beautiful gesture. The Philadelphia Flyers displayed yet another beautiful gesture at number 3. Late in the third period, the Canucks suffered a huge blow after Alexander fell face down on the ice.
And they're hollering for help here.
Yes, John Sanderson.
While he received treatment on the ice, the Philadelphia fans and players showed support with a standing ovation and cheers throughout the arena. Huge props to the Philly fans for good sportsmanship. That is what we all love to see. At number 2, we have one of the greatest moments in sports history. It was the 12th of June, 2001. The Colorado Avalanche had just edged past the New Jersey Devils to win the 2001 Stanley Cup. It was a special moment, especially for Ray Bourque, who waited 22 years before lifting his first ever Stanley Cup.
Captain, the Stanley Cup winning Colorado Avalanche, and after 22 years, Raymond Bourque!
That is a class act from Joe Sakic to give Ray the first opportunity to hoist his very first Stanley Cup. That moment right there will live on in the history books forever. To end the video at number 1, we have Teemu Selanne's emotional last moments on the NHL ice rink. To wrap up his career, he was named all 3 stars and took his very last lap on the ice rinks. The Kings, on the other hand, made sure that they all bid their final farewell to one of the legends of the beautiful game. His final lap with his former teammate and friend Giguère made the moment much more emotional and memorable. The class, the pure sportsmanship, and the standing ovation from the entire arena, everything about that moment was special. Comment your favorite sportsmanship moment of all time and subscribe to the channel for more exciting hockey videos. See you on the next one, guys. Take care.